Hey there. Want to know the secret sauce to a thriving university?
I'm game. What is it?
Today, we're diving into something super relevant for all you university leaders out there. Strategic workforce planning.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's not just about those dusty old HR files.
Right.
This is about putting together a dream team.
Okay, I love that. The dream team, like an all-star team.
Exactly. The A-team that will help you nail your university's vision.
It's true. It really is about your people.
Yes.
They're your heart and soul, your secret weapon.
Absolutely.
And with everything changing in higher education these days,
Oh, tell me about it.
making sure you've got the right people in the right roles, it's like more important now than ever, wouldn't you say?
Couldn't agree more. We've got some really cool stuff from this book, Applied Psychology and Talent Management. Have you seen this?
Oh, yeah, I've got it right here.
This chapter breaks down SWP strategic workforce planning like it's nobody's business.
And it's not just some theory, They actually give you like a blueprint, a step-by-step.
Okay, so let's break it down. Where do you even start with something as massive as strategic workforce planning?
Well, I think you got to know what you've got, right? Before you can go out and
Take stock.
yeah, like it's like taking inventory, right?
Right.
But instead of counting boxes of cereal, you're mapping out all the talents and experience of your faculty and staff. It's all about the people.
Okay, so if I'm the dean, let's say, of the engineering school,
Okay.
I need to know not just that I have tenured professors, but what they're really experts in.
Exactly.
Like, are they robotics people, renewable energy?
Yes, all of it. You need to know their specialties, their niche areas, and it's not just about what they put on their CV, right? Like,
Right.
what other skills do they bring?
Are they good mentors?
Yes.
Yes.
Are they great at snagging those grants? You got to capture all of that.
It's like you're creating a treasure map
Yes.
of all the talent.
Yeah.
So you know where all the hidden gems are. What's next after we've got this amazing inventory?
All right, so now we got to put on our future predicting hats, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of, gazing into the crystal ball here.
I love it.
This is workforce forecasting. We need to ask ourselves, what is our university going to need? Not just today, not just tomorrow, but in 5-10 years down the line.
Wow, that is thinking ahead.
Yeah, you've got retirements coming up,
Oh, right, yeah.
new programs launching, heck, even technology.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Think about how fast technology changes.
It's moving at the speed of light.
It is, and that's going to create a whole new demand for skill sets that we might not even know we need yet.
It's like academic fortune telling, but with data.
Yes, exactly. And this is where those big picture strategic goals you were talking about, those come into play big time.
So if my university, if we want to be known for like groundbreaking research,
Yeah.
let's say artificial intelligence,
Okay.
we need to make sure our workforce plan reflects that, right?
Yes, 100%. If
Yeah.
you want to be known for that, your workforce plan needs to have that ambition behind it.
So if I'm the university president, I need to be thinking about, okay, how are we going to recruit those top AI researchers? How are we going to build those cutting edge labs?
Right, and maybe even partnering with those big tech companies.
Well, yeah.
Or offering some really hot new AI-focused degrees that would draw in the best students.
Right. And then those students, they become the talent pipeline.
Exactly.
Wow, that's thinking way ahead. So we've got our inventory, we've got our fancy forecast.
Okay.
What then? How do we connect the dots? Like, how do we go from what we have to what we need?
Action plans, baby. This is where we take action.
All right, I'm ready.
These are the concrete steps.
Okay.
We've got to ask ourselves some tough questions. Do we need to, kick our recruitment into high gear?
Okay.
Do we need to invest in some serious professional development, upskill our existing rock stars?
Yes.
Or maybe it's about creating some killer mentorship programs to, groom those future leaders, get them ready.
I love it. And this is where it gets really specific to each university, right?
Right. Oh, absolutely. It's not one size fits all. Each university, it's like a snowflake, right?
Totally.
It's got its own unique challenges, its own amazing opportunities.
Right.
And those action plans need to reflect that,
They have to be custom made.
Exactly. And, this is another spot where those presidents, those provosts, those deans,
Great guns.
they got to step up, right? They're the ones who can really get this going.
All the champions.
They are.
Yeah,
They've
right.
got to fight for those resources. They've got to make sure that this plan actually happens, that it doesn't just stay an idea on a piece of paper,
You gotta have legs.
Yes, exactly.
It's like they always say,
right.
right? Culture eats strategy for breakfast.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Like you can have the most amazing plan in the world,
Right.
But if your people aren't on board,
It's dead in the water.
it's DOA. Right.
100%. You've got to have that buy-in. And that's important everywhere, but especially in universities, right?
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. You've got so many different voices. Everybody's got an opinion.
Stakeholders galore.
Exactly. And it's not like a top-down kind of place where you can just say, do this.
Right.
It's much more like decentralized.
Everybody's got their own fiefdom.
Yes. So getting those department chairs on board, the faculty, even the admin staff,
Everyone.
that's essential.
All right, so how do you do that? How do you get everyone, like, pumped up about strategic workforce planning?
Right.
It's not exactly the most exciting thing, you know?
Not exactly a party in a spreadsheet.
Definitely not.
But here's the thing. It's all about framing it.
Right. Yeah.
You've got to find a way to connect those dots, to show people how this plan aligns with what they actually care about.
Okay, so give me an example.
Okay, good question.
Let's say I'm a department chair, right?
All right.
What's going to make me, like, sit up and take notice?
So for that department chair, maybe you highlight how SWP can help them build a more diverse, more inclusive department.
Oh, yeah, that's huge right now.
It's essential. Or maybe it's about attracting those rising stars in their field.
Right. The ones who are going to bring in the big grants.
Yes. Enhance that department's reputation. You know, make them shine.
So you're not just talking about the big picture university goals.
Right.
You're showing them how this benefits them.
Exactly. It's about their world, their little corner of the academic universe.
And this is where those leaders, those presidents, those provosts,
Right, the ones calling the shots.
they have to be really good communicators.
100%. Transparency is key.
It's got to get everyone on the same page.
Exactly, because when people understand why we're doing this, they're much more likely to say, all right, let's do it.
It's like anything else.
Right.
If you don't know why you're doing something,
Exactly.
it's not going to be as successful.
And it can't be a one and done kind of thing, you know? It's got to be an ongoing conversation.
So regular updates,
Yes.
town halls, what else?
Town halls for sure, but also like encourage that feedback, you know?
From everyone.
Everyone, from the bottom to the top. Those insights are invaluable, and it makes people feel like their voice matters.
It makes them feel heard.
Exactly. And when people feel heard, they feel valued, and then they're bought in.
I like it. Now, let's talk about something that keeps every university leader up at night. Okay?
What's that?
Uncertainty.
Oh, yeah, it's the big one.
Higher education's changing so fast these days.
So fast.
How do you even plan for the future when you don't know what it holds?
Right. Like you said, it's uncertain.
It feels impossible sometimes.
It does. But that's where this whole idea of like talent readiness comes in.
Right.
It's less about, okay, we need this specific skill in 10 years.
Okay, yeah.
It's more about, let's create a workforce that's adaptable, that's agile, that's ready to pivot.
So instead of saying, okay, everyone's got to be an online teaching expert,
Right.
we need to create a culture where people are constantly learning.
Yes. Yes. Continuous learning and development. It's like we're training our people to be lifelong learners.
So that when something new pops up,
They can just roll with it.
exactly. Think of it like this, right? The university of the future.
Okay. Yeah.
It's going to need more than just subject matter experts.
Right.
We're going to need those problem solvers, the
The
collaborators.
communicators.
Yes, people who can learn on the fly, adapt to whatever technology throws at them.
It's not just about what you know. It's about how you think.
It is. It's those soft skills.
Yeah.
Those human skills.
They're becoming even more crucial in this crazy, fast-changing world.
Absolutely. And that's something that university leaders need to be thinking about, right?
Right.
Are we providing those professional development opportunities that nurture those skills?
Yeah.
Are we creating a culture where those skills are just as important as, publishing another paper?
Or bringing in $1 million grant.
Exactly. Because it's not enough to be brilliant in a lab anymore.
You got to be able to talk about it, write about it,
Yes.
work with other people.
Get that funding. It's the whole package.
Exactly. And I think that message, that really resonates with a lot of folks in academia, right?
Right, yeah.
They came to this world because they are passionate about learning and growing.
They're lifelong learners by nature. Speaking of growth, there's something else we got to talk about.
Okay, what's that?
It doesn't always get the attention it deserves,
No.
even at the top universities.
What is it?
Succession planning.
Ooh, yeah, the dreaded S word.
It's like the elephant in the room. Nobody wants to talk about it,
Right.
but it is so crucial.
It really is. Think about it. You've got this renowned professor,
A legend.
and they retire, but they didn't tell anyone they were planning to.
Oh, no.
Or a dean decides to head off to a different university.
And they just leave this
vacuum.
This huge hole.
Exactly. If you haven't even thought about what happens when that person leaves, it throws everything off.
It's like you're driving down the road not paying attention.
Oh, no.
And suddenly, you've got to swerve.
Yes, a major swerve. And we're not talking about just any position here. These are leadership roles. You need someone who gets the university, who gets the culture, the goals, the whole network.
That's a tall order.
It is. You don't just find that person overnight. It takes time to cultivate that kind of leader.
All right, so what do we do? How do we plan for something as, unpredictable as people moving on?
Yeah.
It's like that saying, you can't steer a parked car. You need to have someone ready to take the wheel.
You got it. And that's where, being proactive comes in.
Okay.
You need to identify those future leaders early on.
Okay.
Give them those leadership development opportunities. Let them get their feet wet in different parts of the university.
Grooming them. You're basically setting them up for success.
Exactly. And it's not just about having someone ready to step into specific shoes.
Right.
It's about building this deep bench of leadership talent.
I like that, a deep bench, so we're prepared for anything. One of the things I found really interesting in this chapter is this idea of, make or buy. What is that all about?
Ah, yes.
Can you break that down for us?
So it's this classic question, right?
Okay.
When you're building any kind of workforce, you have to decide, are you going to focus on developing the amazing people you already have?
So that's the make.
That's the make. Or are you going to focus on recruiting, on going out and finding those rock stars who already have what you need?
The buy.
The buy.
And in universities, I feel like that's a really tough decision.
It's a tough one because it's not like you can just plug anyone into a university.
Right.
It's not just about technical skills. We're talking about finding people who get it, know?
Yeah.
People who align with the university's culture, who understand the values.
People who are passionate about what universities stand for.
100%. It's a special kind of place, right?
It is. It's a calling.
It is. You can't just take someone from the corporate world and expect them to get it.
They've got to have that fire in their belly.
Mm.
So what's the answer then?
Well,
Do we make them or do we buy them?
if only it were that easy.
I know, right?
The chapter doesn't give a hard and fast rule, and I think that's smart.
Okay. Yeah.
It depends.
Right.
Sometimes you need that fresh perspective.
Oh, totally.
You need someone to shake things up, someone from the outside.
So if you're that university president who wants to be at the forefront of AI, you might need to go out and poach someone.
You might need to go on a talent hunt. Find that superstar researcher from another university.
Maybe from the tech world.
Exactly.
They-
But sometimes
Yeah.
it makes more sense to look at what you already have.
Grow your own timber.
Exactly. Maybe you've got this amazing faculty member who's been there for years,
Quietly killing it.
quietly killing it. They've got that leadership potential.
Just haven't had the chance to shine.
Exactly. And you can invest in them, send them to leadership training.
Give them more responsibility.
Exactly. Give them a chance to lead. That's how you groom them for those bigger roles down the line.
So it's about being smart. It's about being intentional.
And knowing that you've got options, you can find amazing people out there, and you can grow amazing people right where you are.
I love it. So as we wrap up our deep dive into this whole strategic workforce planning thing, what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
This is bigger than just HR, okay?
Right.
Strategic workforce planning, this is about leadership.
Yes.
It's about making sure your university has the right people with the right skills in the right roles.
And that those people are ready to take your university into the future.
Exactly. It's about making sure your university is going to thrive not just today, but 10 years from now.
It's about building something amazing.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for this amazing conversation. I know I've learned a ton.
My pleasure. Glad we could dive into it.
And to all our listeners, thanks for joining us for another deep dive. Until next time, stay curious.